Hey, this is Danielle over at DIYDanielle.com, and today I wanted to show you how I use Tailwind to schedule posts. And I already recorded this once, and it was a completely black screen, so this is my second try. Hopefully we'll get this together today. So the first thing, once you start your account, we're going to start out with our weekly summary. Now, what this is it's going to show you what's done well, what your follower growth is. It's going to show you your most repinned boards. Outdoors and gardening is pretty huge on my Pinterest page. And you can go in here, you can see your most repinned pins. You can also invite collaborators on your account. And if I want, these are all the pins that have done well that I have pinned. Now I can go and just look at my own personal pins, and as you can see, these are the ones that have done really well, and it says, you know, how many repins and how many likes they've gotten, any comments, and then the date pinned. If I would like, I can schedule a repin for some of these, or I can add them to tribes or find similar content. One of the reasons you might find similar content is that it's always good when you're posting about a particular topic to also pin other items about that particular content. I think when I first started, I've had really good organic growth on Pinterest. I had never really put a lot of effort into it, like on purpose. I just really liked it, and I just pinned things, and I would look for, I always do a little research before I do a project, and I'll say, okay, well, who else has made a car seat poncho? Let me see how they did it. Let me see how I want to do it, and then I would write my own post. And if I was pretty close to that person's project, I would also link their tutorial in my post and say it was inspired by that. So I would always do that on my own. So it would basically be like saying to Pinterest, look, this person is got all this great information about car seat ponchos. So when Susan goes and searches for car seat ponchos, Pinterest might say, hey Susan, Danielle has really good car seat poncho posts. Why don't you look at all of the pins she's pinned about car seat ponchos? And they might pull it up in the feed. And that's my understanding of how it works. So I can go through here and I can reschedule them again, and I can find similar content. So it's always good to pin similar content to what you're pinning about at that time. So this month I'm doing an organization series, and I'm going to be pinning a lot of organization things. That's kind of going to happen naturally just because it's January and everyone's doing organization pins right now. But okay, so that's that with the summary. There's some additional things that you can pay for, but I haven't really done any of that. Tribes. This is a free feature right now, and basically you find a group that has, you know, similar content or people that you just want to support, and you can join this little tribe with them. And it's like having a separate Pinterest feed for just your little group. And you can go and say, okay, well, this is not really a good fit for my blog, or this is a good fit for my blog. I have a kids board, so I might just go here and add to queue. But I don't really have anything for scripture. That's not really my thing. So I might skip this content. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't need to. But I might skip this content, so I would take it out of my feed just so I had more, I could see all the other stuff easier. But I don't really need to do that right now. So this right here, you could switch these different tabs, and this will show you all the content in the feed. This will show you new content in the feed. This will show you your content you've added to the feed. And this is stuff that you've shared. So you could see, oh, I already shared that. Let me not share that again. And then things that you've skipped. And also, if, let's say, my friend at Ginger Whisk, I want to just look at her content right now. I might go through and unselect everyone else. I know Ginger Whisk does a lot of food, so let's say I want to just schedule food content. I might go through and just, I obviously have pinned all her stuff, but if I hadn't, I would go through and type, you know, food and add her to all these different ones. But You don't have to reselect all these. If you go away and then come back, they'll all be selected again. But I think that's a good way to kind of narrow down to just content you are wanting to see. Like if you know she has food and I don't know, maybe she does all food. Anyways, that way you could get all your food pins in one window instead of trying to sift through it all. So I have a pretty specific tribe that I made, and it's only got 3 people in it, so there's not much content. But this allows me to kind of zip through and find stuff that's all pretty much the same stuff for me. So this is a lot of outdoors and gardening and homesteading, that sort of stuff. So I could just go ahead and, pretty sure I've pinned some of this stuff before, but add it all at the same time. And again, that'll show up in my shared post, and I'll be able to see it over here. So your published section, I'm going to go skip around to here. I want to show you your schedule first. Your schedule is going to be the times that you want Tailwind to send those pins out. Now I have 50 a day here, but when you first open, it's going to give you, like, you're going to have to set your own times. So you'll set a couple of your own times, and then if you come back in like an hour or two, it'll start giving you suggestions. These are all their suggested times to add pins. They're like, if you're going to add some more spots, you should add them here and here and here. You can always add your own, but Tailwind is telling you these are times people are pinning. You might want to pin at 8:40. It looks like I've added quite a few that are at 8:40. And, it's telling you that those are successful times for you to pin. All I have to do is click it to add it. I don't want to do that. No? Okay, I'll do it. So there it is. It's added. Any green one is one they've suggested. Any gray one is one you have added yourself. So I'm actually going to delete one of these because I only want 50 a day right now. And all I have to do is click the little garbage button. And that's how I delete. It's very, very easy. And I can add a time slot by doing this. Again, I don't want to do that. I have plenty of these. These are much faster to add. I can just go through and click, 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 click. And a lot of times, like, I could add all of these right now, all of the pluses, and then I wouldn't have anything else to add. But if I came back in like an hour or two, it would offer me some more suggestions. Very, very nice way of doing it. These are my scheduled pins. It's going to take a second to load. My computer is really slow today. So this is my scheduled right here. And again, you can look at a kind of a close-up here, but I don't need that level of detail. And it's showing me all of my different pins. And I have some openings here. But as you can see, I can go through. Oh man, my computer's having issues. Sorry. I can go through my schedule and just look at all of the items that I have on there and make sure that I don't have anything that's too repetitive. What I will do is a lot of times I will pin to like 10 different boards for one particular post. And they might end up all in a row. And I don't really want them going out like that. So what I will do is I will go and shuffle my queue like this and just click that. And then it'll rearrange everything. That way they aren't all in, just going out one after each other. So let's see, what else? Yeah, there's not really too much with this. Board lists. Oh, this is useful. So this gives you basically if I was to post a blog post about food, I could go to Pinterest and then click food post, and all of these boards would show up. Or DIY projects, all of these would show up. And let me show you how that works. Here's a post I put out today. It's eco-friendly organizing. This I would consider a DIY post because I talk about a lot of how to make these baskets and how to make some other items that are organization items from scrap fabrics or empty containers you have around the house. So I can click on Schedule through Tailwind. As you can see, my pin then pulls up. If I want to pin to all of those different projects, I click that one. And as you can see, they all come up. And I can add another one. So organization cleaning would be another good board to add that to that wasn't on this big group. Now I can go through here and say, well, if this wasn't a home post, for example, I might remove Home Talk and DIY Your Home, because those are two groups that are more focused on actual home projects. These are home projects, so I would leave those there and then click Schedule Now. I already scheduled these, so I'm not going to do that. But then I can also go ahead and add this to tribes. I already did this, but I would go through and click on any of the applicable tribes that I wanted to add the content to, and I would add to 4 tribes. Then it would show up in the tribes feed over in the Tailwind app. This allows people that are in that tribe to then pin my content directly from Tailwind. So, let's see. Let's talk about how you would use, actually, did I finish everything on here? Sorry, here I am. I do not do a lot from here. I think I got everything else. Yeah, this is a lot of analytics. I have not used some of these features, so I'm not going to go over those. Let's see. So, if you are pinning from Pinterest, there's a few ways to do it so that you can schedule it through Tailwind. Once you install Tailwind, you'll notice that this little Tailwind symbol pops up, and you can just click that individually instead of clicking the Save button. You would click the Tailwind button, and it would pop up, and you'd write what board you wanted to add that to. I'm not doing that one because it's a horizontal image. But here's an organization post, and I'm pinning a lot of organization right now. So I'm going to add organization and cleaning. Now, keep an eye out. You don't want to leave this because somebody did not add a description here. So I'm going to want to add that, or just not pin it because they didn't fix their image correctly, so it popped up. That's a lot of extra work. Sometimes I will not do that for that reason. I will just skip the pin unless it is really amazing. So when I pin something on Tailwind, it will then pop up with a little window like, hey, here's some cool posts about organization and cleaning. And sometimes they get it right, and sometimes, like, that's a food post. I could click off on that and then put it under food if I wanted. This is organization cleaning, so I could just go through and click that. If I wanted to see more ideas, I could refresh the suggestions here at the top and go ahead and just pin away. I really think this is a great feature. It allows me to get a lot of extra pins that I might not have seen. Just super helpful. When you're trying to pin like 50 a day, it's really nice to get as many things in front of your face as you can, and to make it as easy as possible to go ahead and pin more content. And that's one of the reasons you really need to be conscious about how you add your image information on your blog posts, because you want to make sure it is easy as possible for people to pin your content. You do not want to make your life, or you don't want to make people not want to pin your stuff because they're irritated that you didn't add a description or whatever. So, I also have a Tailwind extension for Chrome, and when I click this, it pops up with a bunch of different content that was on that page that I was just on, my main screen. Some stuff does not seem to come up. For some reason, it just does not show me everything. However, I can go through and click a bunch of different posts on here. And, okay, so I've selected 5 different things. I can go to Go Schedule. Now I have all these different items. Now, if they were all on the same topic, I could go up here and type the name, and it would all show up below for each board. I'll show that to you in a minute, but these are all different. So I need to actually go through and write each one. I'm going to do this under upcycling, and these are sweets. And then I can click schedule all. Now, that doesn't seem like it saved me much time. However, it works really well if you have a very curated, I think that's the correct word for it, board. So if I have a board that is all food, let me show you. So this is a group board I'm in, and I pinned from it earlier, so I have to kind of scroll down a little. Let's say I want to pin a bunch of food stuff. Well, I can come over here and pin from my group board. And it's always nice to pin from these group boards. You get a lot of good content. Some of this stuff I've pinned already because I was doing this yesterday on this particular board. But I can click a bunch of these and make my life very, very easy. I'm trying to remember what I pinned. Some of these look really familiar. Okay, well, so I would select all the food ones that I wanted. I would go to Go Schedule. I would click Food. And look, it showed up on each of these. I can click Schedule All, and I just added 7 new pins without really a whole lot of work. And then, of course, it pulls up more. So now I've added 9 pins. So that makes my life a lot easier. Again, it's not really applicable unless you have some really specific groups, or you're doing a specific search. So let's say I am searching for brownie recipes. Well, I just pulled up 4 billion brownie recipes because you know there's a bunch of them on the internet. I can go ahead and click all of these delicious recipes that look amazing. I really want to just go bake brownies right now. Oh. Try not to pin duplicates. And then Go Schedule. Type sweets and baked goods, schedule all, and I've just scheduled 19 pins very, very, very quickly. Man, okay. So it makes it much, much easier to add content this way. And again, when you go back and you look at your scheduled pins, you are going to see those brownie posts now pop up in your right-hand corner. Somewhere, because I have a lot of pins and it's hard to figure out where they are. So there's some brownie pins in here somewhere. Possibly towards the end. Man. Let's see. Okay, there we are. We're starting to see some brownie ones pop up here and there. Now, again, if I want, I can go ahead and shuffle my queue so that the brownie ones are interspersed throughout, a couple weeks. And that's it. I hope that helped. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask. But I really think it's pretty easy to use and makes pinning a lot easier. There's a couple features they're talking about adding. Apparently they're talking about adding a looping feature so you can loop your own content. At the moment, you cannot do that. You just have to go through and do it yourself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it's not as easy as the board booster feature where you can just loop things through your board. But they're trying to do it. They're trying to apparently do this so it does not look spammy, which isn't a bad thing. That it's good. We need to be careful about not acting like spam on these social media sites because we want to be real people, not just self-promoting everything. So, alrighty, hope that helps. Feel free to check out the blog post over at DIYDanielle.com and have a great day. Take care. Bye.